I'm Jessica Mendoza. There are many great parts to playing fast pitch softball. For me, one of the greatest parts about playing this game is hitting frozen ropes, either over the fence or in the gaps to score a winning run. Hitting can be very difficult, but with the right information, a passion to improve, you'll be hitting frozen ropes all season long. As I step into the on-deck circle, or as we call it, the circle of champions, I use this time to visualize what I'm going to be able to do at the plate. So I watch the pitcher, I watch her tendencies, her mechanics, her arm swing, everything that she does, and as she winds up, I use this to get on time with how she's pitching and when the ball is going to cross the plate. So I look, I watch her go into her windup, use this to get on time, and then as that pitch crosses the plate, I'm going to visualize hitting a frozen rope right back at her or in the gap and do exactly what I'm going to be able to do in the batter's box. One of the best parts about playing for the U.S. softball team is the fact that we have freedom of footwork. You can either have a good stance that's wide and open like mine. Some of the hitters on our team have a shorter stance. You can use a high kick in your stance. You can use a glide in your stance. But the point is, if you're able to get on time and get into the right position to hit, your footwork can work in a variety of different ways. All good hitters quad up. The first is you're going to measure up. You're going to take your bat and place it on the inside part of the plate to make sure that you're a good distance between the plate and your body. Second is you're going to square up. You want to make sure that your feet are square to the plate, that you're not too open and you're not too closed. The third is you're going to TV up. You want to make sure that your head is up and your eyes are out towards the pitcher. And lastly, confo. You want to focus on two things: confidence and focus. Your confidence is you are going to feel at that moment that you are the best hitter in the world. And focus. You're focusing on one thing, and that is that yellow softball that's coming right at you. Next, we're going to talk to you about hand positioning in your stance. A term we use is called K to K. You're going to take the knob of your bat and have it point at the left knee of the catcher if you're a left-handed hitter. If you're a right-handed hitter, you're going to take the knob of your bat and have it point at the right knee of the catcher. And what this does is it's going to create a nice bat angle and a good starting point for you to get into when you hit. You want to avoid extremes like this and this. And this will allow your hitters to be able to start from a nice point, get into a good stance, and then eventually a perfect swing. The backstretch. Getting your hands into a good, strong position to hit. Now, the key with this is to make sure that you're on time and that you start this motion early enough so you're able to get your hands into a good, strong, loading position, and as you get into your swing, you'll be on time to hit the pitch harder and further. The biggest key with the backstretch is that you're not trying to be short and quick to the ball, that you really want to be strong and get more momentum behind your swing. Again, the key to this is to start this as the pitcher is going into her motion, get loaded back, and be on time for a stronger and smoother swing. Coaches and players want to avoid using the term wrist or wrist roll when you're talking about hitting. When you're getting to contact, your hands are going to be in a good palm up, palm down position that's going to provide you a lot more strength. And when you use the term wrist, hitters tend to want to roll their wrists prematurely. If you get into this position as a hitter and stay through the ball, your wrists are naturally going to roll after your swing and after your follow through. So hitters need to avoid thinking about their wrist or rolling their wrist prior to getting to contact, because it's naturally going to happen once they are done with their swing. Top hand release. Hitters need to have both hands on the bat as they are swinging, but once they get through the ball, through contact, it's okay for a hitter to allow that top hand to release off of the bat. Sometimes when a hitter is going after a pitch and they're following through, this might allow them to get a higher finish and extend further through the ball. Obviously, as they're swinging and getting to contact, you want to have both hands on the bat. But once they are finished and have connected, that top hand is okay to release the bat and let it go through. Online hitting. Many hitters are taught to hit down through the ball, but really what you're trying to do is make sure that you're getting on line and level with where the ball is pitched. For example, if the pitcher throws a drop ball, you don't want to come and hit down through it, because you're going to hit that pitch straight to the ground and roll over it. What you want to do is get your barrel to where it is on line, same level as that pitch, drive through it, and hit a nice line drive to where it's pitched. There's a big debate between linear versus rotational hitting, but really, it all comes down to just 3 simple movements. The first is to have the stretch, back, loading your weight, getting on time and ready to hit. The second is the slide, sliding your front foot into a good position to get you ready to hit. And lastly is the snap, which is the driving of the hips through the ball and is allowing you to connect and give you that power to hit. When speaking of tracking a pitch, a lot of young girls are taught to keep their head down on the ball. But really, when you're tracking a pitch, it's your eyes that need to focus on tracking the pitch. So as that ball's coming, understand that it's not your head, but your eyes that need to start focusing and release about 20 feet out. And that's when you're going to realize when you're going to be making contact. So your eyes are going to be on the ball, not your head. When you're a young softball player, you're taught, hey, just put the ball in play. That's all you got to do. Just get to contact, make something happen. But as you get older and you get to higher levels, it's not just about putting in play, it's about getting your hacks in. So if you make a decision to swing, you want to make sure that once that decision is made, that you're going all out. You're taking a hack, you're swinging as hard as you can, and even if you miss, because trust me, I miss all the time, but when I miss, I don't get cheated. Because I'm going to miss fast and I'm going to miss hard. Because once I make that decision to swing, I'm swinging. As the pitcher begins her windup, the hitter needs to make sure that she has a nice open focus of what the pitcher's movements and tendencies are. By being able to pick up these movements, the hitter can see any differences in their windup, their stride, and how they're bringing the ball out of the glove. For example, sometimes pitchers, when they're throwing a changeup, they might have a faster windup to try to deke the hitter into thinking they're throwing a faster pitch. If you have this open focus, you're able to see and notice these differences, and it'll tip you onto what's coming. Once you have that open focus, you want to be able then, as the pitcher's about to release, put your eyes towards the hip of the pitcher, and your eyes need to focus in on the ball. Once the pitcher releases the ball, a good hitter will focus on where the pitch is going and not where it came from. So you want to make sure that your eyes are tracking the ball and no longer the hand that just released it. There are 2 types of eyes when you're tracking a pitch. First, you're going to have bug eyes, that as that pitch is coming, there's an intense, hard focus on trying to see the ball. Then you're going to have your relaxed, softer eyes that are quiet and just see the pitch, can pick up the movements, maybe even the seams, and are going to allow you to hit the ball better. Remember, the harder you look, the less you see. Good vision begins in your setup. Going back to the TV up, where you have your head up and your eyes out, you want to make sure that the pitcher can see both your left and right eye facing them. Also, A common term is that chin and shoulders, that you want them to be close together, but you want them to be apart. You want to make sure that your shoulder is square and that your chin is up and that they aren't together. So if you have your head up, your eyes out, good squared shoulders, you're going to be able to track the ball from early on and continue that tracking to the point of contact.
A common way that pitchers will tip location on their pitches is with stride angle. When a pitcher's throwing a fastball, often if they're coming towards the right-hand side of the plate or inside on a right-handed batter, you're going to see their stride angle adjust to the right. Similarly, if they're coming to the other side of the plate, you're going to see their stride angle adjust to the left. One time, I'll show you an inside stride angle. Pitchers will often tip their pitches with the direction of their head, or a head tilt. Very commonly on a curveball, you'll see a pitcher on her stride start to tip her head to the left, the direction the pitch is going to take. That's assuming you have a right-handed pitcher. So a curveball, here's what you're going to see in a pitcher's head. Similarly, you'll see the opposite adjustment on the screwball. You'll see her step, often the stride angle will change left, but the head will start to tip to the right. Often on a rise ball, pitchers will make the mistake of tipping their head back, letting the hitter know that a pitch is coming a little bit higher in the zone. Something to look for in trying to pick a drop ball with a pitcher. Shoulder angle is something that you can pay attention to. When the front shoulder drops and the back shoulder is a little bit higher, you're often going to see the pitcher come over the top of the ball to throw a rollover drop. As far as changeup, we talk about flesh tones in the arm. See a darker part on the back of the arm, lighter part on the inside of the arm. Often, for most quicker pitches, you're going to see the inside of the arm coming at you. For a screwball, for a rise ball, and for a curveball. Often on a changeup, if a pitcher is throwing a flip change, a backdoor change, or any other change that she's going to roll over the top, you're going to see the back of the arm instead. Here's an example of a backdoor change. Compare that to the fastball that I'll throw. You learn to look for the difference between seeing the inside of the arm or the back of the arm coming to you.
All right, girls, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Louie. Louie is who I go to in between pitches, in between at bats, when I need to talk to someone and figure out how to make an adjustment to get better in between pitches and at bats. So Louie is actually an acronym that stands for late, over, under, and early. These are the 4 different ways that I can miss a pitch or hit the ball wrong. So first, if I was late, then the adjustment that I need to make after talking to Louie is that I need to start my timing a little bit earlier to get on time with the pitch. Second, if I'm swinging over the ball, I need to change my plane a little bit lower to get on line with the pitch and not be over it. Next is if I'm under it. I need to try to hit the center of the ball and change my line to be a little bit higher so that I'm able to hit the center of the ball. And then lastly, if I'm too early. Sometimes that can be on a changeup, or maybe just my timing is starting a little bit too early. Then I want to make sure I start a little bit later to get on perfect time to hit the pitch right where I want. So you guys can use my friend Louie too. It works really well. Always make sure you're making adjustments in between pitches. The high finish. A lot of hitters tend to want to beat themselves up both physically and mentally when they're hitting. A lot of times when they get to contact, they want to roll over and hit their shoulder and knock themselves in the back. But the point of a swing is that you not only want to get to contact, but you want to finish through the pitch. This will allow you to accelerate and not slow down as you're getting to contact, but rather hit that point of acceleration, power through the ball, finish, and you'll end up having a higher finish than you would if you're hitting yourself in the shoulder or the back. So you're having your back stretch, coming through to your swing, following through, and ending up with a nice high finish. The power of the flush works in all aspects of the game. Whether you're on defense, offense, pitching, this game will test you. There's going to be bad times and good times, but it's when you have a strikeout, someone gets a big hit off you, or you make an error, that you need to have the ability to flush away those negative thoughts and move on. Because if you carry them with you, it will not only hurt you, but it'll hurt your teammates, and it'll end up hurting the outcome of your sport. So you come in the dugout, you have your moment, and you flush those thoughts away. Work short, but look long. With the tee set up from a short amount of distance, even though it's close to us, you want to be able to visualize and look long at where the pitcher is going to be throwing it. Your eyes are not staying tracked where the ball is right now on the tee, but rather watching the pitcher go through her motion, pitch the ball at you, and then as you go to your swing, that's where you end up hitting the ball on the tee. So make sure that you're visualizing the pitcher long as she's coming through, and then hitting it short. 5 and out. The average hitter will see about 5 pitches per at bat. So whether you're hitting off of a tee, off front toss, or off of BP, you should take no more than 5 swings before either switching it up, switching with another hitter, or at least before you step back in the batter's box. So if you're hitting off of a tee, go ahead, take your 5 swings, make them good, and then make your adjustment from there.
The coach or teammate should present the ball first, then drop the ball slowly to allow the hitter to backstretch early. The key to side toss is to give the hitter plenty of time to backstretch and to allow the hitter time to make contact in front of the plate.
Face to fire. In this drill, you're going to start square to the pitcher, and you're going to walk up, turn, and get into your stance. But the focus is the fact that your head is going to have very little to no movement. So when you start, you're able to rotate into your stance, but keep your head very still.
This drill is great for hitters that need to increase their power and get added momentum into their swing. Before turning the hips, the hitter slides forward, and at the same time the bat and hands separate from the body. The 1-foot drill is excellent for hitters that tend to spin off pitches and rotate early in their swing. The hitter starts at the end of her swing and rewinds slowly as the ball is pitched. The endgame drill will remind hitters where they should be making contact with each pitch. What matters the most in hitting? Seeing and reading the pitched ball. The hitter calls out ball once the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. The open backhand drill is a great way for hitters to feel the backstretch or loading part of their swing. Hitters keep the backhand off the bat and push back to grab the bat as they prepare to hit. This can also be done with soft toss or from the hitting tee. Hitting is timing and recognizing the direction of the ball. Self-toss allows hitters to improve their timing skills on their own. Self-toss also forces hitters to use different swing planes to approach the ball while getting immediate feedback. To self-toss properly, the hitter will change her approach to the ball in order to make harder contact. It's time to have some fun and make some noise. The grunt round in batting practice will remind the hitter to swing with maximum effort, and once she decides to swing, to take a real hack and swing hard.
We've talked a lot today about the importance of the physical and mental game on the field. But the other important aspect of softball is what you do off the field. There is so much strength, conditioning, plyometrics, stretching, drill work that you can do away from the field that will make you a better all-around player and a more all-around athlete that will allow you to perform not only in the batter's box, on the mound, in the field, but on the bases, and just make you that much better of an athlete. All right, girls, today was a pretty cool day of hitting. I know I learned a lot. We had some nice conversations, but what would you say are some of your favorites of all the different things that we learned, from the K to K to the CSA to the Confo?
I like the Confo a lot just because it helps me get focused and mentally prepare for the game before I go out and play.
That's super important too. I'm glad that you're into that. That's something a lot of hitters tend to overlook.
Yeah. I like backstretch because before the pitcher winds, so I won't be late on the pitch, I backstretch so I can tend to be early.
That's awesome. I know I liked a lot of the stuff. One of my favorites is the Circle of Champions, the on-deck circle before you get in, because I think a lot of times hitters, we don't even think about hitting until all of a sudden we step in the batter's box, the pitcher's thrown at us, and now we're like, oh shoot, she's got a funky windup, or this is what I need to do. So a lot of times on deck, I use that time to kind of think of what I need to do, how I should prepare, so by the time I get in the batter's box, smooth sailing, I don't even have to worry about it.
Competition to fight, it'll be a sense surrounding you. When I go to the bowling, beer, heaven and selected bride, bet the block party on my return will be extra bad and nationwide. Ain't every week, you gotta make me tough and strong. Pray this transfusion don't take long. Say chess with sexy number 2. Maybe I'll present my lighter and suggest you burn my wine. I'll be Patrick McGoo and resigned to number 6 landscaping style. Ain't every week, you gotta make me tough and strong. Pray this transfusion don't take long. Say never turn my blood into titanium. East Hampton, she's calling me home. There'll be no hold up at customs, I'll be waiting to wave right through. There'll be no competition to fight, it'll be a sense surrounding you. When I go to the bowling, beer, heaven and selected bride, bet the block party on my return will be extra bad and nationwide. Ain't every week, you gotta make night. It'll be a sense of rendezvous when I go to the bowl and beer, heaven and selective pride. But the block party